Aubriana, if you could please call the roll.
Bates.
Here.
Mangum.
Here.
Nichols.
Here.
Paulson.
Here.
Satterfield.
Here.
Swanson.
Here.
Dahlquist.
Here. Next, I would ask everyone to please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance, and if you would please remain standing after that, as we'll have Bishop Mike Jones representing the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints to provide the invocation. I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Our dear Heavenly Father, we're so very grateful for this evening as we meet to discuss the affairs of this great city. We're so thankful for the opportunity to live in this great country and for all the blessings and the freedoms that we enjoy. We're thankful for these good elected officials that are here to represent us and that look out for our freedoms and for those that can't look out for themselves. We're thankful for this Easter season as we celebrate thy Son and his sacrifice for us. Please bless us that we may be able to have thy Spirit here during this meeting, that they may be able to accomplish all that is set forth, and that we may be able to have thy Spirit to be with us, that we may be able to be civil, but that we may be also be able to have those that need to be heard, and that we may be able to be represented by these good people that have been elected. Please bless us that we may be able to enjoy these freedoms that have been fought so dearly throughout the generations for us. Please bless us at this time, and we do so in the name of Jesus Christ. Amen.
Amen. Thank you. Agenda item 3 is the consent agenda. The following business items may be approved by one motion and a vote. If any one member of the council so desires, any matter listed can be moved to a separate agenda item. Item A, minutes. Council may wish to waive the oral reading of the minutes and approve the minutes from the following meetings. City Council work session of February 12th, 2026. Clarification and regular council meetings of February 19, 2026, and special City Council meeting of March 12, 2026. Item B is material claims. Council may wish to approve the material claims for the period of March 16 to 31, 2026. Item C, Animal Shelter Advisory Board reappointment. Council may wish to confirm the mayor's reappointment of Teresa Erickson Rodriguez to continue serving as member of the Animal Shelter Advisory Board. Teresa's term will begin April 5, 2026 and expire April 5, 2028. Item D, council decision, short plat approval for the Fairgrounds Place. Council may wish to adopt its decision approving the short plat for Fairgrounds Place, which subdivides approximately 28.41 acres into 2 lots subject to conditions. Then item E, declaration of surplus property, 2026 city auction. City may wish to declare items identified as surplus property to be sold at the city's annual auction on May 9th, 2026, and dispose as noted. City departments submitted lists of items that they considered surplus, which were reviewed by other departments. The items to be considered surplus are not needed by any other departments within the city.
Mr. Mayor.
Yes. Yes, got a question from Councilman Paulson.
Some people have asked me about the city auction. Where is it and when? I see that it says May 9th.
Uh-huh. Do you know that, Connie, or, okay, here we go.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. Tom Kirkman, Public Works Director. It's May 9th at primetime auction on a Saturday.
Okay, perfect. Thank you.
Yep.
Okay. Is there another question, or?
I have a question.
Okay, sure.
On E, the declaration of surplus property, I have a question for police.
Okay.
Chief Shy, Pocatello Police Department.
Hi.
Hello.
Hey, quick question. On those the vehicles that you guys are getting rid of and not for auction, are those vehicles that you're trying to replace for next year? Get rid of them this year because they are older, they're over 10 years old, right? Is what I've read.
Yes.
And are you trying to next year replace those ones?
We,
that you're
we
getting rid of?
constantly are upgrading our vehicles, so if we have one that's older and that needs to go, we rotate that out. We work with fleet
Okay,
on keeping our fleet right-sized and upgraded. So a lot of times there'll be vehicles that are, we very rarely will have a vehicle that's seen one department. It usually goes from one to the other and then to the other, and by the time it's goes to auction, it's been used a lot. So yeah, then we end up replacing it.
thank you.
Yep.
Thank you for that clarification.
Okay.
Mr. Mayor, I would move that we approve agenda item 3, the consent agenda, sections A, B, C, D, and E as outlined.
Okay, thank you. Have a first from Councilman Mangum.
Second.
Okay, we have a second from Councilman Paulson. Aubriana, please call the roll.
Mangum,
Yes.
Paulson,
Yes.
Bates,
Yes.
Nichols,
Yes.
Satterfield,
Yes.
Swanson.
Yes.
All right, thank you. I'm pleased to tell you that we have 3 proclamations this evening. I've asked the council members, 3 of them, to help us out with the reading of these. What we'll do is start out with Friends of the Marshall Public Library's birthday month. That will be read by Councilmember Bates. Then there's the Healthy Homes Month. Councilmember Mangum will read that. And then Fair Housing Month, Councilmember Swanson will read that one. So we'll start out with Councilmember Bates.
A proclamation of the City of Pocatello. Whereas the Friends of the Marshall Public Library raise funds to support the Marshall Public Library in its vital service to the Pocatello community, providing the resources for additional programming, much-needed equipment, support for children's summer reading initiatives, and special events throughout the year. And whereas the work of the Friends continually affirms that our library is a cornerstone of the community, providing opportunities for all to experience the joy of lifelong learning and connect with the thoughts and ideas of generations past and present. And whereas the Friends understand the critical importance of well-funded libraries and advocate to ensure that our library receives the resources necessary to provide a wide range of services to all ages, including access to print and digital materials, as well as expert assistance in research, readers advisory, and children's services. And whereas the Friends' gift of time and commitment to the library sets an example of how volunteerism fosters positive civic engagement and strengthens our community. And whereas the Friends have faithfully supported the Marshall Public Library for 30 years, now therefore, Mark Dahlquist, Mayor of the City of Pocatello, does hereby proclaim the month of April to be Friends of Marshall Public Library Month in Pocatello, and urge all residents to join the Friends of the Library, express their appreciation for the Friends' many contributions to our library and community, and attend the anniversary celebration on June 13th, 2026 at the Marshall Public Library.
Okay, and do we have Eliza Schmidt or whoever would like to come forward?
I don't have to say anything because
It's optional. We'll allow you to do that if you'd like. Congratulations.
well, thanks, Mayor Dahlquist and City Council. You summed it up better than I could have and better than I did in my large font. We have some people here that have been on the Friends. Like, we've been going for 30 years, and book sales 3 times a year at least. There's an in-house sale that a couple of the people do with, I don't know if you've come to the library and you see the decorations and the books for sale, but it's volunteer, and we just do it to pay it forward. There's so many things that we love to do for the kids, for adults, teens. We've bought everything from book drops to furniture to you name it. So anyway, the party will be June 13th, 10 a.m. in the library's community room. We'll have a short program, a scavenger hunt, giveaways, prizes, and treats. So come and party with us and celebrate, because 30 years is a long time. But thank you for this. This is lovely. So thanks. Yeah, thanks for being in our village.
The City of Pocatello proclamation, whereas April is recognized as National Healthy Home Month, a time to educate, raise awareness, and promote action to ensure that all people live in safe, healthy, and sustainable housing environments. And whereas the health conditions of our homes directly impacts the health and the well-being of our residents, with hazards such as lead-based paints, mold, poor indoor air quality, and safety deficiencies contributing to preventable illness, injury, and long-term health effects. And whereas children, older adults, and the vulnerable population are especially at risk from our housing-related health hazards, and improving housing conditions can lead to better health outcomes, increased safety, and stronger communities. And whereas the 2026 National Healthy Home Month theme is Healthy Homes for Everyone, practical actions, shared solutions, and lasting impacts. Emphasizes the importance of collective responsibility and highlights how practical, community-driven solutions can create lasting benefits for individuals and neighborhoods alike. And whereas the City of Pocatello is committed to protecting the health of its residents through programs such as the Lead Safe and Healthy Homes program, which helps to reduce environmental hazards in homes and create safer living conditions for families. And whereas recognizing Healthy Homes Month provides an opportunity to encourage residents to learn about home health hazards, utilize available resources, and help create healthier living environments for themselves and future generations. Therefore, Mark Dahlquist, Mayor of the City of Pocatello, does hereby proclaim April 2026 to be Healthy Homes Month in the City of Pocatello, and call upon all residents, community partners, organizations, and businesses to support the efforts to promote safe, healthy homes and raise awareness of home-related hazards and support efforts to create healthier homes for all. Thank you. That's a lot of whereases.
Thank you, Mayor, members of the council. Christine Howe, the grants manager for the city, and I work with a great team of individuals who help implement our Lead Safe and Healthy Homes grant that we were awarded by the U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development in 2021. We like to recognize Healthy Homes Month to bring education and awareness about some of the work we do and the resources available to residents to help mitigate some of those home hazards that Council President Mangum talked about. It's a little bittersweet this year because we're in our last month of our grant. So we will be closing it out and hoping to find additional grant funding because these projects really help support our residents who don't have the funding available to address these health hazards. Our average project costs for these grant programs are about $25,000 for the lead-based paint mitigation and $15,000 for the healthy homes mitigation, with some exceeding that. We've been really fortunate to help some families who have children with elevated blood lead levels, which impacts their development. So we've been able to address those hazards for those young kids. And also things like radon mitigation, mold, asbestos, just basic things to ensure you're living in a healthy and safe home. So I've been really proud of the team I work with, Wendy Prather, Mike Foy, and Andrew Mikesell, who have made this grant program possible. And so we're going to continue to look for HUD funding for future resources, but are excited to close out our 52 projects or so that we've been able to impact in the city. So thank you for your support of the program and the office in this proclamation.
This is a proclamation in support of Fair Housing Month. And just so you know, I'm your council liaison to the Housing Alliance and Community Partnership Group. So if you have any questions about that, you can talk with me sometime. City of Pocatello proclamation. Whereas April is recognized nationwide as Fair Housing Month, commemorating the passage of the Fair Housing Act on April 11th, 1968, a landmark civil rights law designed to eliminate discrimination in housing and affirm housing as a fundamental human right. And whereas the Fair Housing Act was enacted in the wake of the assassination of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., whose legacy continues to inspire efforts toward equality, justice, and opportunity for all. And whereas, for much of our history, discriminatory housing practices denied many individuals and families access to quality schools, employment, transportation, and safe neighborhoods, creating lasting inequities that communities continue to address today. And whereas the Fair Housing Act prohibits discrimination in the sale, rental, and financing of housing based on race, color, religion, sex, disability, familial status, national origin, and other protected characteristics, and affirms the right of all people to live free from housing discrimination. And whereas equal access to safe, affordable, and stable housing is essential to the health, economic vitality, and overall well-being of families and communities. And whereas continued education, outreach, and community collaboration are necessary to ensure fair housing laws are understood, upheld, and strengthened. Now, therefore, Mark Dahlquist, Mayor of the City of Pocatello, does hereby proclaim April 2026 to be Fair Housing Month in Pocatello and urges all residents, businesses, housing providers, and community organizations to reaffirm their commitment to fair housing principles, promote inclusive communities, and work to eliminate barriers to housing opportunity for all.
Our city's housing guru is back. They kind of look the same, but they're.
Sure. Thank you, Mayor, members of the council. Councilmember Swanson said it all in the proclamation, but I do just want to put a plug in that we have a fair housing training on April 7th here at City Hall. We do that in conjunction with Idaho Falls and the Intermountain Fair Housing Council. So if anyone is a housing practitioner, rents housing, or is involved in housing in any way, we'd encourage you to come to that training. It's part of the outreach we like to do for Fair Housing Act education. We also offer any resources and connect folks to resources. So if you think you have experienced a Fair Housing Act violation or have questions about it, please reach out to our office in the Planning and Development Services Department. So, thank you.
Right. Thank you, Christine. All right. Calendar review is next. Agenda item number 5. We've got some upcoming council meetings on April 9th, 9 a.m., city council work session followed by a special city council meeting. April 16th at 5:30 p.m. is the council clarification meeting. Also on April 16th, 6 p.m. is the regular city council meeting. April 23rd, 6 p.m., special city council town hall meeting. Really encourage the public to come out and be a part of that. But all the council members and myself will be there for that. Other events on April 4th, Zoo Idaho will open on the weekends only. Beginning May 1st, the zoo will be open every day. April 4th, 10 a.m. to 2 p.m., Mayor's Youth Advisory Council Essential Needs Drive at the Pocatello Police Department Substation, 800 Yellowstone Avenue. That's the one near Fred Meyer. Personal product donations will be donated to area agencies, so please come out to Fred Meyer on Saturday and donate some goods. April 10th, city's annual hiring fair from 2 p.m. to 7 p.m. at the Public Works Annex, which is at 2405 Garrett Way. April 18th, 10:30 a.m. That's the 29th annual Run with the Big Dogs at Centennial Park. Registration is open now, online, or by contacting the animal shelter. April 18th, the Port Neuf-Valley Environmental Fair will be held at Lookout Point from 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. The free, family-friendly event is the largest environmental fair in southeastern Idaho. Citizens using the PRT fixed route or special service during environmental fair hours may ride to and from Lookout Point for free. Annual spring cleanup at city cemeteries is underway. Crews will remove and discard all flowers and decorations. Citizens are asked to remove decorations, etc., that they've placed on the cemetery space if they wish to avoid disposal of the items. Cleanup is expected to continue through the end of April. Compost Happens program, you can tell it's spring, there's a lot happening. April 1st through the last full week of November, yard waste carts will be picked up the same day as your regular collection day. City Creek Recreation Area gates are closed to motorized access until approximately May 15th of 2026. Looking ahead, please don't forget about the citywide spring cleanup. That's sponsored by the Pocatello Chubbuck Chamber of Commerce. That's on Saturday, May 2nd from 8:30 a.m. to 10 a.m., beginning at Caldwell Park with a free hot breakfast cooked up by the Chamber Trailblazers. Lots going on. Any other items? Yes, Councilman Mangum?
Mr. Mayor, this Saturday at Alameda Park, I will be co-hosting a community Easter egg hunt with 50,000 eggs. We will have participation from the City of Pocatello's sanitation department, the fire department, and the police department will all be there with different vehicles and apparatuses for the children. And we'll have a DJ, lots of music. The Boys and Girls Club will be there doing a pancake breakfast to kick it off, starting at 10 a.m. And so they're just asking for a small donation if possible. If you have it, bring it. If you don't, come and eat a pancake and have a good time.
Okay, thank you.
Hunt starts at 11.
Okay, at 11. All right, thank you for that. Moving to items from the audience is agenda item 6. We did not have anyone sign in, so we'll move to agenda item 7. And that is public hearing zoning map amendment request near 3450 US Highway 30. This time has been set aside for the council to accept comments from the public regarding a request from Brandon Ratliff, mailing address 522 Sunup Drive in Pocatello, to rezone approximately 0.69 acres of property located near 3450 US Highway 30 from residential medium-density single-family to light industrial. Following a public hearing held on March 11th, 2026, the Planning and Zoning Commission recommended approval of the request. I now declare the public meeting open. Just starting out, I do need to ask if any council members have had any ex parte contact. Okay, seeing none, that we will ask the applicant at this time to come forward and provide the presentation.
Good evening, Mayor, City Council. My name is Brandon Ratliff, 522 Sunup Drive, Pocatello. I'm here tonight to submit for a rezone. Just a couple lots there that are adjacent to light industrial right now. It's actually 3 sides of the property, butts up against light industrial. There's a transition to RMS that will happen a little further east, so I just felt like it was a good spot to kind of break the zoning. It gives the frontage a little bit more to work with as far as the light industrial. I feel like there's a need for light industrial parcels, so felt like that was the most prudent decision as far as the zone and what direction to go as far as keeping it residential or going light industrial. So.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
And we have a staff presentation at this time. Looks like Jim will provide that.
Good evening, Mr. Mayor and members of the council. Jim Anglesey, Long Range Planner for the city. As stated, Brandon Ratliff has requested the zoning map amendment to rezone the subject property from RMS to light industrial. The applicant's proposal to rezone the subject property from RMS to light industrial aligns with the city's future land use map in the comprehensive plan, where the property is designated as industrial. The subject property is accessible through additional property along US Highway 30 and is adjacent to light industrial, with RMS adjacent to the property as well. In consideration of the application, the Planning and Zoning Commission recommended approval for you to consider. And in conclusion of my presentation, the public hearing has met all state and local requirements, and staff has received no comments from the public regarding this request. I'd be happy to entertain any questions the council may have.
Mr. Mayor.
All right, sure, got a lot of them. Let's go with Councilman Mangum first.
It looks like coming off of Highway 30, these lots are in between lots. So how does one access these two back lots?
The properties adjacent to Highway 30 are commonly owned. So
Oh,
this
okay.
and the subject property are owned by the same
Oh,
individual.
okay.
And then Councilman Paulson, looks like you had a question.
Yeah, just, it looks like from the map that it's with the future land use to be industrial, so I just want to
Yeah,
confirm that verbally.
correct, yes.
Okay, and yes.
Could you review for the public the notifications that you give to surrounding property owners when something like this is up for consideration?
Yeah, so the state requires us to notice within 300 feet, all the property owners within 300 feet of the subject property, 15 days prior to the hearing. And so they receive a letter in the mail, and then we also publish it in the Idaho State Journal 15 days prior.
I see. So the property owners are surrounding have the opportunity to come here tonight and testify.
Correct.
Thank you.
Okay, any other questions? Okay, thank you, Jim. At this time, is anyone present to provide testimony supporting the application? Okay, do we have any testimony for those uncommitted to the application? And finally, do we have testimony by those opposed to the application? Okay, seeing none, I declare the public hearing closed. Council, this item is before you. How do you wish to proceed?
Mr. Mayor,
Yes, Councilmember Mangum.
I would move that we approve the rezoning of property outlined in Agenda Item 7 as listed.
Second.
Okay, we have a first from Councilman Mangum, a second from Councilman Paulson. Aubriana, please call the roll.
Mangum,
Yes.
Paulson,
Yes.
Bates,
Yes.
Nichols,
Yes.
Satterfield,
Yes.
Swanson.
Yes.
All right, agenda item 8, another public hearing, planned unit development PUD application for the crossings. This time has been set aside for the council to hear comments from the public regarding a request by Kevin Karchner for a planned unit development known as the Crossings to allow construction of 65 townhome units with open space, parking, and a park for community use. The property is located between Venture Way and Wayfarer Street and will be accessed via Paradigm Way and Venture Way. Following a public hearing held on March 11, 2026, the Planning and Zoning Commission recommended approval of the request with conditions. We will now declare this a public hearing being open. Have there been any council members that have had any ex parte contact? Okay, seeing none, we'll go to the presentation from the applicant.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. My name is Kevin Karchner, 5690 South 2400 West, Wellsville, Utah. I'm the applicant for the crossing, so it's 64 townhomes. It's currently zoned RCP, so as it stands, that would allow us to do a for-rent townhome project, which we had initially designed. But we felt like after doing some market study that this would be better suited for an owner-occupied townhome development, which is why we're applying for the PUD. We know some of the complications with townhome projects is parking. So 44 of the units actually have a 2-car stalled driveway with an addition to the 2-car garage, so 4 parking spaces in total. So 44 of those, which should mitigate a lot of that. And then there are also 25 guest and visitor parking stalls. Obviously, this is going to be in an HOA, so the common area will be well maintained. Snow will be removed, all of that. And then, forgot what I was going to say. Oh, and we're including a common area with a park and swing set and some grass area. And yeah, any questions?
All right. Okay, yes, got a question here.
Why did you decide to go with a PUD as opposed to just a regular subdivision process?
So from my understanding, as it stands, Pocatello, your minimum lot size is like 2,750 or something. So in order to do a for-sale townhome community, it has to be through a PUD, is my understanding.
Yeah, mine
But
as
that's-
well.
yeah.
Yeah.
So that's fine.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. A quick question on the, I'm glad that they will be the owner occupied. Will that be very strict, you know, for example, if an owner occupant buys the unit initially, can they sell that to a renter or sell that to a landlord, non-owner occupant subsequently?
Yeah, they could as it stands, how we typically do it. Yeah, they could if they wanted to.
Okay. All right, thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay, this time we'll have a staff presentation. Looks like Becky will come for that.
Good evening, Mayor, City Council members, Becky Babb, Planning Manager. Just like to start my presentation by saying the process for these types of developments is that if an applicant is proposing alternative types of developments or is utilizing lot size averaging, they can apply to the city for a planned unit development. That has to be approved by both Planning and Zoning and City Council. At that point, once it's approved, they can apply for a preliminary plat, which goes to Planning and Zoning, and then a final plat, which, as you know, comes before City Council. So in order to proceed with this size of lot and in this configuration, their options are pretty limited. So planned unit development is their path forward in order to maximize those lot sizes in this area. So I just wanted to clarify where we were at in this process, because you will see this application again when it's gone through preliminary plat and then is before you as a final plat with these conditions. So this is an application, as we stated, for a planned unit development. It is a subject parcel that is runs parallel to Venture Way and is at the end of Paradigm Way, so kind of parallel also to Trekker Ridge. The property is zoned residential commercial professional with a future land use designation of mixed use. In residential commercial professional, the housing development is considered residential high density. That's the designation that we use. A public hearing was held also in front of the Planning and Zoning Commission on March 11th. At that point, the applicant had that public hearing, and the Planning and Zoning Commission recommended approval to move forward to City Council. The primary comments that Planning and Zoning has received has been to request the application materials and relating to traffic and roadways, and those were addressed by the Public Works Director at the Planning and Zoning hearing. As far as the criteria, the staff finds that the application meets the criteria as presented in the staff report, and notice was provided to neighbors in accordance with our code. A written comment was also provided from Intermountain Gas requesting a public utility easement. That will be part of the preliminary and final plat processes. The conditions that are listed in the staff report also primarily relate to that preliminary and final plat process, but are still included so that we can make sure that the applicant is well aware of those in advance. And I can take any questions that you have.
Okay. Yes, we have one
Councilman
here.
Nichols?
So under a PUD, the developer has the ability to get a bonus, a density bonus, is that right?
Yes, we
Do they
reduce.
utilize that here?
Yes, they do, but they have not maxed out the units. They're still well within the allowed units. And they're providing the amenities, as they stated, of a park and a playground.
Right, so they've added 11 units by putting it in a PUD, is that
Correct.
correct?
Yes.
So in return for that, what did they give for that?
Yes, they have to commit to a 20% open space requirement,
Okay.
which is covered by that park and the playground area.
Right, and what can be included in the 20%? Setbacks, drainage swells, parking, I mean, what constitutes open space?
It just has to be shared and utilized as a shared amenity. And so we kind of evaluate that on a case-by-case basis. But in this case, a playground and a park certainly meets our shared open space requirements.
Right, but that's only about 10,000 feet of required 30,000 feet of open space, right?
Right. As long as they meet the 20%, that's what we're counting.
So everything that's in green on the map here, is that the
I don't
open
have
space?
the map right in front of me, but yes, I believe everything, the colors are a little off for my eyes, but it'll be go through the preliminary plat process, which will also ensure that that 20% down to the square footage is met. But yes, I believe it's green, or kind of that shade of green on your image.
Right, got it, thank you.
You bet.
Okay, any other questions? Okay, thank you, Becky.
Yes.
Is there anyone present for testimony here supporting the application? Okay, do we have anyone here wishing to testify that are uncommitted to the application? All right, anyone here opposed to the application? Okay, seeing none, I declare the public hearing closed. Council, this item is before you. How do you wish to proceed?
Mr. Mayor,
Yes, Councilman Mangum.
I would move that we would approve the planned unit development PUD application for the crossings as outlined in agenda item 8.
Second.
Okay, thank you. We have a first from Councilman Mangum, a second from Councilmember Swanson. Aubriana, please call the roll.
Mangum?
Yes.
Swanson? Yes. Bates?
Yes.
Nichols?
Yes.
Paulson?
Yes.
Satterfield? Yes.
Agenda item 9, Historic Properties Mitigation Bank Grant Application for Brady Chapel. Council may wish to approve submission of a Historic Properties Mitigation Bank Grant application to complete exterior renovation and rehabilitation work on the historic James H. Brady Chapel and authorize the mayor's signature on all pertinent documents, subject to legal department review. The total proposed project cost is $69,300, and $50,000 will be fully funded by the grant, with the remaining amount funded by the grant match account.
Mayor,
Yes.
I would move to approve agenda item number 9 as outlined.
Second.
Thank you. Okay, we have a first from Councilmember Paulson and a second from Councilmember Swanson. Aubriana, please call the roll.
Paulson?
Yes.
Swanson? Yes. Bates?
Yes.
Mangum?
Yes.
Nichols?
Yes.
Satterfield? Yes.
Agenda item 10, Airport Grant Amendment Request, FY 2024 FAA Airport Grant Program. Council may wish to approve an amendment request to the airport's FY 24 FAA Grant Agreement Number 3 to increase the grant amount by $83,284 to cover actual total project costs for the construction of a new taxi lane and authorize the mayor's signature on all pertinent documents, subject to legal department review. The total grant amount will increase to $1,187,749. The amended grant covers 93.75% of the project cost, with the remaining 6.25% funded with airport PFC and state grant funds.
Mr. Mayor,
Yes.
I would move that we approve the airport grant amendment request, FY 2024 FAA grant, airport grant program as outlined in Agenda Item 10, authorizing the mayor's signature on all pertinent documents, subject to legal department review.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion to approve, a first from Councilman Mangum and a second from Councilmember Satterfield. Aubriana, please call the roll.
Mangum?
Yes.
Satterfield? Yes. Bates?
Yes.
Nichols?
Yes.
Paulson?
Yes.
Swanson?
Yes.
Agenda item 11, resolution/airport lease agreement for Cruiser Industrial LLC. Council may wish to adopt a resolution and approve a lease agreement with Cruiser Industrial LLC for 3 acres of bare ground at the airport for operation of a mobile sandblasting facility. The lease will be for a 5-year term with automatic 3-year renewal at a rental rate of $875 per month and will be increased annually according to the CPI with a full rate review in 2031, and authorize the mayor's signature on all applicable documents, subject to legal department review.
Mr. Mayor,
Yes.
I have a question about the sandblasting business.
Good evening, Mayor and council members. Alan Evans, Airport Manager.
Thank you. Can you describe briefly what this sandblasting facility is going to do and how it relates to the existing businesses there, and also speak to the additional income that the airport will receive from this?
Sure. So this is a current tenant that's located at the airport, and they are a subcontractor to a project that's taking place. It's a big project that I believe SME Steel is involved with. They're sandblasting some products that they are going to paint and take to, I believe it's Micron, actually, is where I believe it's going. Their process, they just need flat ground that they can work off of, and it needs to be in close proximity to where that paint booth is and to the SME facility. And so that's what we've acquired, is 3 acres there for them to do their process. They will lay down the material that they need so that they can reclaim the sand. It won't just go everywhere. They don't want to spread it and have to buy a lot more, so I'm sure they'll be very careful in what they do so that they can reclaim that. We think this is a win-win for us out there. It's a piece of property that is not being currently used for anything. And if something should come in there, we do have the right to cancel this lease if there's something of a higher degree. So this should be a good project. It's in a good location for them, and I believe it's a positive thing for everyone.
Are there any environmental concerns about this sandblasting? And you had mentioned they'd have mitigation.
They have
all
what?
set up for
Yes.
that?
So, yeah, I don't know that there's any environmental concerns. This is something that they do, their business does all over the country. And so they'll have whatever protective gear that they need, and they'll take care of that process. I don't see any issues with what they're doing.
I see. So this is a 3-year renewal, so you're expecting this is not a permanent or indefinite
This
client?
is not a permanent, we don't know how long this project will last. It depends on how fast this project progresses.
All right,
So,
thank you.
Alan,
Yeah,
you said this is, to be clear, this is in conjunction with a current person who's already leasing from us.
yeah, these guys are subcontracting to a current tenant, but these guys also are a current tenant at the airport. They have a warehouse right now that they rent. Okay.
Okay, thank you, Alan. Right, council, how would you like to proceed?
Mr. Mayor,
Yes, Councilman Mangum.
I would move that we adopt a resolution and approve a lease agreement with Cruiser Industrial LLC as outlined in Agenda Item 11, authorizing the mayor's signature on all applicable documents, subject to legal department review.
Second.
Okay, thank you. We have a motion to approve, first from Councilman Mangum, a second from Councilmember Swanson. Aubriana, please call the roll.
Mangum?
Yes.
Swanson?
Yes.
Bates?
Yes.
Nichols?
Yes.
Paulson?
Yes.
Satterfield? Yes.
Agenda item 12, Parks and Recreation Donation Acceptance, Top Notch Tree Service. Council may wish to authorize and accept a donation in the amount of $14,300 from Top Notch Tree Service, represented by Dirk Anderson, toward the purchase of new playground equipment at Alameda Park, and authorize the mayor's signature on all pertinent documents, subject to legal department review.
Mr. Mayor,
Yes.
there was talk in our clarification meeting. The Parks and Rec Director did talk about this, and I'd love to hear from our Parks and Rec Director.
Good evening, Ann Butler, Parks and Rec Director.
Hello.
Hi.
So, reading this, it looks like the Alameda Park will be getting a new playground.
It will actually be getting 2 new playgrounds. We'll replace the tot lot, which is the smallest size playground they make, ages basically 2 to 5. And then as part of the budget amendment we ran last winter, the plan was to purchase another larger playground there. So with this donation, I anticipate we'll be able to pick up another fairly small playground for another park. And I'm planning to bring that to you in the next council meeting.
Excellent. Do we know about when we can anticipate this work starting or being done?
I'm anticipating we'll receive the playground in late June, and then we'll have to get going on it. I do have like 3 other playgrounds to put up right now, so.
Okay. That's it. Well, thank you.
Could you tell us where the 3 additional playgrounds are going, or those that are in the queue?
Sure. So Westello was completed about a month ago. Freckleton we completed about a week ago, which is by the rec center. Scardino is just starting construction right now. We have a playground for Legacy, and then we'll have the 2 playgrounds at Alameda, and I'm hoping to pick up that small playground for Empire Park, which is off 18th.
Great, thanks.
Yep.
Right. Thank you, Ann. And I'm really loving the new signs at the parks, and I've had lots of positive feedback about our branding and how sharp those signs look. Okay, council, how would you like to proceed?
Mayor,
Okay, yes.
I would move to approve, to authorize and accept a donation for $14,300 from Top Notch Tree Service, and authorize the mayor's signature on all pertinent documents, subject to legal department review.
Okay, thank you.
Second.
All right, we have a motion to approve with the first coming from Councilmember Paulson and a second from Councilmember Mangum. Aubriana, please call the roll.
Paulson?
Yes.
Mangum?
Yes.
Bates?
Yes.
Nichols?
Yes.
Satterfield?
Yes.
Swanson?
Yes.
Okay, agenda item 13, Riverside Golf Course Clubhouse Construction Manager / General Contractor Contract Amendment. Council may wish to approve the guaranteed maximum price amendment to the CM/GC contact with Construction Services, Inc. for the Riverside Golf Course Clubhouse project, and authorize the mayor's signature on all pertinent documents, subject to legal department review.
Mr. Mayor,
Yes.
I have several questions, if that's okay.
Okay, yes.
Hi, Ann.
Hi.
I'd like to start, I have some questions about our bid process and maybe the route that we chose. So my first question is design included in this bid?
Design from the architecture is not included in that bid. That was, we've been paying on it throughout last year, and it was approved with Booth Architecture, I think last January of '25. So that was, I think it was $142,500.
Okay, all right. And then, so was the bid put out and this contract with the general contractor, was that made before design was completed? I'm just I want to make sure I understand our process.
Sure. So we started the design process while we were looking for a sponsor, which is a good segue for Jamie Simmons, who's here from Connections Credit Union. They graciously became our sponsor on this project. We accepted that sponsorship in late summer, early fall of last year. And we have been going through the rest of that design process to tailor it to where we thought we needed to be and went out to bid. We signed our original contract, I think, before Christmas with construction services. So this is the final component after all the bids from the contractors came back on that total price. This is the very last document to see that process through.
Okay. I guess I'm just wondering, because included in this contract is all of the subcontractors. And I guess I just want to know, is that the cheapest option for us? You know, is there, you know, and do cities ever bid out individual subs?
You could, but we would have to project manage the entire thing. And I don't know about you, but most city municipalities don't have those type of people on staff. I am definitely not the person to run this construction site. So this is a very typical process for us. We have done it in all of our other processes, I believe, the fuel site, several, yeah, go ahead, Tom. I know we've got several of these projects that run just this way.
Okay.
Do you want to hit
Sure.
anything to add, Tom, to that?
Well, I'm sorry, give me just a second. I want to make sure I get my thoughts right on this. But, well, let's go with this. I know we've removed several things. Can you just go through what we've removed from the building?
Sure. So when bids started coming back, we realized that they were coming in much higher than we anticipated. So I worked with construction services and we started identifying some things that we felt like we could either adjust to a product that was less money. Typically, that's things like the siding that the architect likes because he likes the design of it, but it tends to be a little bit more expensive than a normal metal siding. So that's a normal metal siding. Another example was, I believe there was tile lined up in the restrooms, and we've gone with another product. So we just made some substitutions on that. I still feel like I've told Jamie and I told construction services, the goal here is not to have gold standard facility, but it's not to be cheap. It's got to be something in between that will last a long time, and that's what we've designed here. So in the printout there, you can see all of the components that we've included, which also included that we are not being charged his service fee for the signage, for furniture, for those items that we actually have to have to open this facility. So I want to make sure that it's done right. That is the top of the top price for this project.
Okay. And then I apologize to everyone, but just a couple more questions real quick. So with the overrun over what our guaranteed maximum price was, in your estimation and any feedback we have from the general contractor, what's driving that?
So I did have a lengthy discussion with him. We were projecting $400 a square foot for the main level. That came in spot on. That price has been steady for about the last 2 years. He feels like it's about to go up again. Where we're off is the site. We had intended to move to the south just a tad and try to maximize parking, but we are pinned between a high-pressure gas line and two 12-inch water lines. So we have to build exactly where we're at, which means we had to build up a little bit. We needed to make some adjustments we weren't accounting for. The other thing that I think got us a little bit on the overage of this is the patio space. We weren't accounting for quite enough of that. There is about 1,600 square feet of patio space here, but I do feel the size of this building and what it will be able to offer is appropriate for what we're trying to do.
Okay, and then my final question. So the reserves in Fund 004, what will be left, what would the fund balance be remaining if we approve this?
So there's 1.4 million in that account right now, in addition to the 25% we have to keep in there per policy, which if I do my math right is about $591,000. So if we subtract out the approximately 700 that we need there, will be just under $1 million. plus the 25% added back in, so we'll probably be close to 1.4 total
Okay,
after we use that money.
okay.
Mr. Mayor,
Okay, yes.
on the same line of that question, we've been budgeting for this for a while, correct?
Correct.
And can you speak to how we've been putting money away for that, and then some of the interest earnings and savings that we've been working for?
Sure. So when I started, all golf money was going into Fund 4, and that's where all other recreation divisions are housed. That's swimming, that's the zoo, that's the rec center, that's everybody that's related, outdoor rec, team sports. So what was happening is the reserves were going in and they were kind of getting eaten up by other entities, right? Other different sports. So we separated that out and created Fund 965 for golf CIP. So we can actually show, hey, this money's coming in above the reserves. Let's put it over here and save that. So we made a conscious decision about a year ago to put a little bit more money in there. We have Connections donation as well in that fund that totals the 2.4. And I'd like to continue that process. When we make above our revenue projection, we're putting money here aside for irrigation issues, potential remodel of, let's say, Highlands Golf Course, things like that. We just need to plan for that rainy day a little bit better, and golf is being sufficient. They are bringing in money.
So the process that, because with meeting with the golf committee, they weren't necessarily happy about the way that that money was being eaten up. So now we do have something in place where we're protecting that money that is coming from golf, because it does turn a pretty decent profit.
It does.
And so being able to, for maintenance and all of those other things, we're going to have something set aside. And then if we do something up at Highland, we're preparing for that next phase.
Correct. This new facility also gives us the ability to create more revenue. We will have a full-service kitchen where we can have a restaurant that could be open year-round. The simulator will bring in revenue. We have it set up where you can actually access the simulator off a side door with a code. You could come in, you'd have access to the restroom and the simulator, but nothing else in the building. So we could actually make money after hours using the simulator. We're going to do everything we can to use the technology in this new building to drive revenue up.
Yes.
Mr. Mayor, I appreciate, I know this is a huge process, there's so much that goes into this, and it's never fun when it goes up and more than what you think it is, and we want to be smart on how we spend, but I feel like you've done a really good job of making sure that we're still doing good quality, right? We're not cutting, we're not doing it half-heartedly so that we have more to spend later, so I do appreciate that. I want to do it right. If there's things that we can cut, that's great, but I do want to do it right, so thank you.
Mr. Mayor?
All right, sure.
I just wanted to confirm the method of contracting we're using here. We're doing a cost-plus contract with a guaranteed maximum price. Is that right? So this number that we have, the 3.1, that's the absolute most that it could be. It could actually be less than that.
You are
Is
correct.
that correct? But that we're going to pay the contractor 4.5% beyond his actual costs.
That is correct.
Is that right?
Yep. This also includes a contingency of 3%, which is about $78,000.
Right, so if we have a subcontract that comes in less, then this price could go down.
Absolutely.
Okay, great, thank you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Tom Kirkman, Director of Public Services, or Public Works. It's been a day. Just to run over a little bit of this process, we've used this CMGC for quite a few of our projects. We've played around with project management. We've done some stuff in-house. Why we feel this is a really good process is for this is what we'll do is we'll go out to look for a design, right? And so we'll get an architect on. The architect wants to make it the Taj Mahal. That's what architects do. So as we get close to the end of that design process, that's when we go out and we do a request for qualifications for the CMGC. And so we don't discuss price, any of that. We get in quotes, these qualifications, we review their work history, their company status, their financials, all this, as well as their previous work, and we can review some of their projects. So then we select this CGMC based upon the qualifications. And then once that is approved, the general contractor then goes out to bid for, he reviews the plans, gets the quantities, and then he goes out for competitive bid on all of that. So when he goes out to bid, he is competitively pricing the framing, the drywall. So we feel that we are, to Councilman Bates, we are bidding it. He is actually bidding it. We feel we are getting the best price that we can get for that.
So, Mr. Mayor, so I guess if there was an alternative process, it would be we complete design, and then once design is 100% completed, we have multiple contractors bid based on those designs?
Yeah, and then we would either project manage it in-house or hire a project manager to coordinate the whole thing. So the CGMC does both. And what helps that out a lot with the bidding process is state code bid law requires a lot of steps. When it gets into a CMGC, he's able to bid a little easier than we are. So the process, the timeline shrinks down, which saves us money on that end. And then once he gets the prices from all of the subs, then he compiles that, and then that's where he gets the guaranteed maximum price. And so then he takes his commission off of that guaranteed maximum price. And so included in that guaranteed maximum price is general conditions, and there's also contingencies. The last one of these we did was for the recycle center, and we came in, I think about 100, not 100, probably 75,000 under on that. So the nice part about this is it gives us a guaranteed maximum price. So we feel that this is probably the best system that we've had experience with over the years. So,
okay.
Tom, when the GC goes out for bid for all the subs, are they required to have at least 2 bids?
Absolutely, yeah.
Like you just can't have the process and just have only 1 bid.
They'll
You
send it
must
out
have
to
at least
multiples.
2.
Yeah, they'll send it out to a ton of, sometimes we only get 1 in, but it's sent to multiple contractors. So we can't control who's gonna bid, we can only control how many he solicits.
Yeah.
But he is required to solicit.
Okay, but there might be some circumstances where you try your hardest, but you just get 1 bid back though.
Correct.
So,
And usually we have like a windows package, a framing package, a flooring package, stuff like that. So when we do these bid openings with the CGMC, it's a pretty long process because we have a lot of envelopes from a lot of different people. to open, so.
Thank you.
okay, thank you both. Okay, council, how would you like to proceed?
Mr. Mayor,
Yes,
I would move that we approve the guaranteed max price amendment to the CMGC contract for construction services as outlined in agenda item 13.
Second.
all right, thank you. We have a motion to approve with the first from Councilman Mangum and a second from Councilwoman Satterfield.
Mr. Mayor, before we
Yes.
vote, I'd like to say, Ann, great job on this project. Connections, thank you so much for, whether we approve it or not, thank you so much for your willingness to support this recreational effort for the city of Pocatello. And I think the golfers will be happy if this is approved. I think they'll be excited. Sorry about that.
Okay, thank you, Jamie. Okay, Aubriana, please call the roll.
Mangum?
Yes.
Satterfield? Yes. Bates?
Yes.
Nichols?
Yes.
Paulson?
Yes.
Swanson?
Yes.
All right, agenda item 14, local professional services agreement number 2, East Center Street Railroad Bridge underpass. Council may wish to approve a local professional services agreement number 2 between the City of Pocatello, Idaho Transportation Department, and Civil Science, Inc. for construction inspection services for the East Center Street Bridge underpass project, and authorize the mayor's signature on all applicable documents, subject to legal department review. The total agreement is $479,896 and is within the project funding allocated for the local professional services agreement.
Mr. Mayor,
Yes.
move to approve agenda item number 14 as listed.
Second, but I have some questions.
Okay.
Tom Kirkman, Director of Public Works.
I wanted to give you a chance to introduce yourself.
I'll screw it up twice.
What is our timeframe on this project? How much longer do you anticipate that we have before we see completion here?
Yeah, so we are anticipating the end of '26. We have seen some challenges with that project. It's been a fairly laborious project over the years, and this has been going since, I think, about 2010, 2015. Some of the big concerns that we're running into down there is anytime you work in historic downtown, there are very large boulders. I don't know if you paid attention to a lot of Marlee's posts last year. Our water department was running a water line and they were pulling rocks out the size of vehicles and stuff like that. We have hit a couple of those big rocks. And then we've had some other obstructions where we've had to change our means and methods, where we've had to, so we have to pound in pilings, which is basically, you pound in pilings, you put some lagging, and it acts as a temporary retaining wall while we remove the existing retaining wall. Well, the way we want to do it, and the way we are doing it, is we pound them in with a pile driver. Well, when we run into certain obstructions, either overhead or underground, we have to drill those. We hoped we wouldn't have to drill, but we had to drill. That slowed us down a little bit. We've run into a few sinkholes. This underpass was built in 1934, so you run into a lot of different stuff. We are moving really quick right now. We're trying to pick up some speed for a few little delays we've had. We do want to try and get one lane open. We are still committed to that. It's just that this time we have equipment that doesn't allow that at this time. We have equipment that's crowding the lane that won't allow some traffic through. But as soon as we can get that going, we're going to open that one lane to try and get traffic moving back and forth across.
So I know it's super inconvenient to not be able to just keep it shut down as it is, but would it be easier just to keep it closed instead of opening that one lane?
It definitely will add some time to open it, because it's definitely a lot more inconvenient to, work while you're snugged up. But right now, we have to put in some soil nails, and we have to do a little more excavation. But after that, then we're into forming for concrete and pouring, where that's a little more forgiving and gives us a little space.
So is there any increase, obviously there's liability, but is there increased liability with traffic coming through there while you guys are working? Is it more risk is involved for the staff and for the pedestrians and for the motorists who are coming through there?
Yeah, once we get to a stage that we feel it's safe, then no, there's always risk in construction, of course. But the risk is much less. There's always risk when you have construction crews next to traffic. But we feel that we can make that, we can secure that site good enough to get some traffic moving back and forth. Okay. And things change. If during this whole process, it's like we had said, we want to try and get one lane open as much as we can. If we can't do it safely, we have to err on the side of safety, of course.
Okay. Any other questions? Okay, thank you, Tom. Right, council, how would you like to proceed?
You have a motion.
Okay, we do have a motion, a first from Councilman Nichols, sorry about that. And I think we had a second from Mangum.
Yes.
Okay, Aubriana, please call the roll.
Nichols?
Yes.
Mangum?
Yes.
Bates?
Yes.
Paulson?
Yes.
Satterfield?
Yes.
Swanson?
Yes.
Agenda item 15, local professional services agreement, Main and Arthur pedestrian crossings and Flandreau Drive safety improvements projects. Council may wish to approve a local professional services agreement between the City of Pocatello, Idaho Transportation Department, and Horax LLC for the construction, engineering, and inspection services for the Main and Arthur pedestrian crossing and Flandreau Drive safety improvements project, and authorize the mayor's signature on all applicable documents subject to legal department review. There is no additional financial requirement or match for this project. The full match has already been allocated in Fund 70 in the amount of $110,852.
Mayor?
Yes. Okay, I'm sorry, Councilwoman Swanson.
I have some questions.
Okay.
Let me screw it up again. Tom Kirkman, Public Works Director.
Great. Can you describe briefly what these two projects are aiming to solve or fix? And then, or maybe you can answer this one first. Are these two specific projects part of the greater effort that I know we approved a couple months ago maybe for all of the regrading of the downtown sidewalks? How are those projects related to this? And
Absolutely. So one of the projects is to improve traffic safety, movement in vehicles. The Main and Arthur is for mobility and safety. So the Main and Arthur crossings will be bulb out, similar to what you see in historic downtown, where we call those traffic calming devices. That, whenever you see a geometry change or anything in a road, it makes you go, I'm going to slow down a little bit. So we're doing those at Main and Arthur and Lander by Pocatello High School. And then we'll be doing 3 more intersections at Custer, Greeley, and Carson on Main. And so those are new ADA ramps and then bulb outs to increase safety. It gets the pedestrian out closer so that people can see them better. So it's better for ADA requirements as well as safety. These are 2 separate projects from the sidewalk grant that was Christine, I believe, has talked about with the sidewalk smoothing. But it dovetails really good into this. And so this was a grant we got. We feel it's a very good grant for this project, and we're hoping that this is something that we can expand more through downtown. The second project is on Flandreau, at the signal of Yellowstone and Flandreau. So right there, that intersection there is kind of fraught with some difficulties on the north side. Quinn Road comes in to that, into Flandreau, very close to the signal. And so what we run into a lot is when people try to turn left to get out onto that signal with the multiple lanes heading southbound, we've had accidents. So we recognized that a few years ago that we needed to address that. So we put those temporary candlesticks up there to help make the intersection safer. And then we applied for a grant to put in a dedicated concrete median, similar to the one at Alameda and Jefferson by the Maverick, to limit those left turns. So Quinn will now be a right in and right out only. At first, it was inconvenient, but people have kind of gotten used to it, and we've seen the accidents drop significantly through there.
thank you.
Okay, yes.
I appreciate the comment on temporary candlesticks.
Yes.
'Cause those things are ugly.
Yes. Yes, and so, we'll just talk about that then. The ones going down Yellowstone, unfortunately, aren't in our control. That is the ITD's jurisdiction. We fought very hard to not get those up. The plan originally, years ago, was to put one of these nice concrete medians, that stretch of between Alameda and Cedar, and they just ran out of money, basically, so. The thing we have noticed, is where you would turn into Fred Meyer across the street from McDonald's. We were seeing 2 to 3 accidents a week. It was just horribly dangerous, and that has just completely eliminated that, so.
With my office right there, you always hear screech, slam. Yeah. And so I have noticed a decrease just from sitting in my office. But what is the time frame on this project?
Yeah,
these projects?
These 2 projects, we're hoping to start the 16th of this month of April, and it'll probably take through half the summer, something like that.
Do we anticipate any of this impeding the traffic down there with the high school? Because the couple are right there next to the school.
Yeah, there's always some issues there, but what we normally try and do is, so we're doing 4 sides of the intersection. We'll try and do one side at a time, always keep an access open, both north, south, east, and west. But yeah, with construction, there's always some delays. Flandreau will be the same way. It's going to be a little tricky there, but we'll get through it.
I really appreciate this because it speaks to that essence of beautification down there. It also speaks to the walkability down there, and then the safety of our people down there too. I think this is a great project.
Yeah. Our snowplow drivers don't like them because sometimes they get a little dreary and forget that they're there, so. Not the pedestrians, the curb.
Right.
Let me clear that one up right away. So.
Yeah, and by the way, I'm being a very squeaky wheel with ITD about fixing those candlesticks and doing something permanent between McDonald's and Fred Meyer there, that I think those are an eyesore and we need to.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's the state highway, but we'll advocate to get them to move up in the priority.
That light pole right there at that entrance is like 24-0 and with a shot at the title. That thing's been hit so many times.
Right. Thank you, Tom. All right, do we have a motion?
Mayor,
Yes.
I would move to approve agenda item number 15 as outlined, authorizing the mayor's signature on all applicable documents, subject to legal department review.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion to approve, a first coming from Councilman Paulson, a second from Councilman Mangum. Aubriana, please call the roll.
Paulson?
Yes.
Mangum?
Yes.
Bates?
Yes.
Nichols?
Yes.
Satterfield?
Yes.
Swanson?
Yes.
Agenda item 16, piggyback purchase agreement for hazmat truck fire department. Council may wish to approve piggybacking of the HGAC by contract for the purchase of one Pierce Enforce Heavy Duty Rescue KB 906 in the amount of $1,279,871, which includes prepayment discounts, and authorize the mayor's signature on all pertinent documents subject to legal department review. The city of Pocatello has provided hazardous materials response for Region 6 under an interagency agreement since the 1990s, and funding for the purchase is provided through appropriation from the state of Idaho military.
Mr. Mayor,
Yes.
I move that we approve the piggyback purchase agreement for the hazmat truck for the fire department and authorizing the mayor's signature on all pertinent documents subject to legal department review.
Second.
Okay, thank you. We have a motion to approve with first coming from Councilwoman Swanson and a second from Councilman Paulson. Aubriana, please call the roll.
Swanson?
Yes.
Paulson?
Yes.
Bates?
Yes.
Mangum?
Yes.
Nichols?
Yes.
Satterfield?
Yes.
Agenda item 17, donation acceptance, surplus property disposal, police department. Council may wish to approve the following requests regarding the donation acceptance and declaration of surplus property for use by the police department, and authorize the mayor's signature on all applicable documents subject to legal department review. A, authorize and accept a donation of a 2009 school bus in inoperable condition from Pocatello Chubbuck School District 25 for police department training purposes. And if approved, B, declare a 2009 school bus as surplus and authorize disposal of the bus for scrap after it has been utilized for police department training purposes.
I have a
Yes,
question.
sure.
It doesn't have to be too in-depth. I'm just curious what training you're using with the school buses.
Council, Corporal Eric Stapleton, Mayor. So it is actually being utilized for the IRU team, our SWAT team. We are actually going to host a basic school this summer, and we utilize buses all the time. We don't like damaging the nice ones that the school district lets us use, so it's nice to use one that's no longer inoperable. So we don't have to worry about that quite as much. So,
But it's, I guess my question is more, is it about school shootings?
it's intervening and saving our most precious commodity, our children. Yes, that's exactly what it is.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Council, how do you wish to proceed?
Mr. Mayor,
Yes.
I would move to approve the donation acceptance and the surplus property disposal on behalf of the police department, as listed in agenda item 17, items A and B, authorizing the mayor's signature on all applicable documents, subject to legal department review.
Second.
Okay, thank you. We have a motion to approve with the first coming from Councilman Mangum and a second from Councilwoman Swanson. Aubriana, please call the roll.
Mangum?
Yes.
Swanson?
Yes.
Bates?
Yes.
Nichols?
Yes.
Paulson?
Yes.
Satterfield?
Yes.
Agenda item 18, bid acceptance contract award for 2026 sanitary sewer rehabilitation project. Council may wish to accept the recommendations of staff and award the bid for the 2026 sanitary sewer rehabilitation project to Vortex Services LLC in the amount of $255,955, and authorize the mayor's signature on all applicable documents, including change orders up to 5% of the project total, subject to legal department review. Funding for the project has been budgeted in the FY '26 water pollution control budget.
Mr. Mayor,
Yes.
can I hear from our WPC
Yes, Levi.
department?
Good evening, Levi Adams, WPC Superintendent.
So, Mr. Levi, most people don't really think about WPC until their toilet's no longer flush, right? Or until their toilet is giving more than what they gave it. So this project, what is this?
So this is a rehab of some of the city sewer lines. We try to do a good portion of these between 5,000 and 10,000 feet a year. This year, we've got 4,000 feet that we've identified to rehab. It helps maintain so we don't have those issues, so we don't have anyone having, as you so eloquently put it, more than they've given. And the reason we do this is a cast-in-place pipe. So it is a pipe that is actually formed inside the current sewer lines that are there. It is a much more economical way to do that. Approximately $61 a foot to do it this way, as opposed to around $300 a foot, a linear foot, if we were to dig it up and actually replace it. Wow. So the same project, if we were to excavate it and replace the pipe, would be around 1.2 million, as opposed to the 255,000 that we're spending on this one.
What is the life expectancy of that pipe?
It is the same life expectancy as the original pipe that was put in. There's been some of this product that's been put in, like in the Portland, Oregon area stuff, that's been in for 60, 70 years. So it's the only reason that they've replaced any of that is because they've needed to upsize the lines. So it does have a very long life expectancy.
So on that, are we upsizing these lines, or are we just
No,
gonna
we are
match,
just,
or-
in fact, you lose a small amount of flow capacity in the line, but not enough to cause. I mean, we do take all of that into consideration when we decide which lines we're going to do.
Awesome. Well, thank you, sir.
Yep. All right, thank you.
Okay, thanks, Levi. Council, how would you like to proceed?
Mr. Mayor, I would move that we approve bid acceptance and contract award for the 2026 sanitary sewer rehab project as outlined in agenda item 18, authorizing the mayor's signature on all applicable documents, subject to legal department review.
Second. Okay, we have a first from Councilman Mangum and a second from Councilman Paulson. Aubriana, please call the roll.
Mangum?
Yes.
Paulson?
Yes.
Bates?
Yes.
Nichols?
Yes.
Satterfield?
Yes.
Swanson?
Yes.
Agenda item 19, bid acceptance contract award for the Pocatello Parks tree removal and pruning project. Council may wish to approve the following request from Pocatello Parks tree removal and pruning project and authorize the mayor's signature on all pertinent documents subject to legal department review. A, accept the low bid received on March 24th, 2026 from Advantage Tree Care for option A in the amount of $35,000, and if approved, B, authorize a contract between the City of Pocatello and Advantage Tree Care in the amount of $35,000 for the park's tree removal and pruning project, and C, accept the low bid received on March 24th, 2026 from Top Notch Tree for options B, C, D, E, F, G, and H, and I in the total amount of $190,970, and if approved, D, authorize a contract between the City of Pocatello and Top Notch Tree in the amount of $190,970 for the park's tree removal and pruning project. Funding for the project has been provided through the USFS Urban Community Forest Grant.
Mr. Mayor?
Yes.
No, please, go ahead.
I think I saw Councilmember Nichols first.
Oh, go, please.
I
Okay.
just have a question real quick. Christine, I'm just wondering, I just want to know, how do we select the work sites?
Sure. Christine Howe, Grants Manager. We work together with the Parks Superintendent and the Parks Department to identify the highest priority areas where we could reasonably do the work within our time frame. And so if you look through the options, it covers obviously A through I in different parks. And that also was the result of some of the tree inventory that we've been conducting under the plan. And so Braden Millward, the Parks Superintendent, went through all of those maps that identify where those trees are that are listed from high priority to low in terms of hazard, so that the majority of this work, as you'll see, is a lot of pruning because they just have not been maintained and have dangerous limbs and potential hazard where they'll fall, with some removals per each park.
Okay.
So there is actually an additional, probably over $1 million or more worth of work we could do, but depending on the grant funding, we just bid out these highest priority areas.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
Oh, I was just going to make a motion.
Okay, sure.
There are several different chunks of money and different vendors here. Can you give us a brief explanation about why they're chunked out like that and assigned to different vendors?
Sure, so we bid this out by the options, A through I, and so each option represented a park which had pruning and removal work required. And so the vendors that bid were able to put in a bid for the options that they wanted to, and then we could award on a per option basis. So we did receive 3 bids. 1 bid was deemed non-responsive because they didn't complete the proper paperwork. And then we go to the next lowest bid based on the options.
So it's lowest bid, and then you had a series of different parks, and then the vendors could each bid on one park or all the parks or 4 of
Correct.
the parks. Thank you.
Okay, sure.
I think I have a question for legal here. I'm a little confused with the semicolons and the ands and the ifs as it's outlined. So is A through D all a singular thing? Or do we pick?
No, so in the bid process, you have to accept the bid before you authorize the contract. So A is accepting the bid for option A, and B is authorizing that contract. And then C is kind of grouped separately, is the accepting the bids for B through I, and D is authorizing that contract.
I see, okay.
So it's broken up basically into 2 parts by 2 different bidders.
Okay, thank you.
All right, thanks, Christine. Okay, did
yeah.
you get your question? Okay,
No.
I think we have a motion.
Yeah, I move to approve agenda item number 19 as outlined.
Second.
Okay, thank you. We have a motion to approve from Councilman Nichols, a first, and a second from Councilwoman Swanson. Aubriana, please call the roll.
Nichols?
Yes.
Swanson?
Yes.
Bates?
Yes.
Mangum?
Yes.
Paulson?
Yes.
Satterfield?
Yes.
Okay, agenda item 20 is an ordinance to amend the zoning designation for 3780 Philbin Road from light industrial to residential, commercial, professional. Council, how do you wish to have the ordinance read?
Mr. Mayor,
Yes.
I would move the ordinance agenda item 20 be read only by title and placed on final passage for publication, and that only the ordinance summary sheet be submitted for publication.
Second.
Thank you. We have a motion from Councilman Mangum and a second from Councilwoman Swanson. Aubriana, please call the roll.
Mangum?
Yes.
Swanson?
Yes.
Bates?
Yes.
Nichols?
Yes.
Paulson?
Yes.
Satterfield?
Yes.
Right? And now, at this time, we'd ask Jared to read the ordinance.
An ordinance of the City of Pocatello, a municipal corporation of Idaho, rezoning 3780 Philbin Road, Pocatello, Idaho, from zoning designation light industrial, LI, to residential commercial professional, RCP, providing for the repeal of all ordinances in conflict herewith, and providing that this ordinance shall be in full force and effect from and after its passage, approval, and publication according to law.
Okay, I declare that to be the final reading of the ordinance. Shall the ordinance pass?
Bates?
Yes.
Bingham?
Yes.
Nichols?
Yes.
Paulson?
Yes.
Satterfield?
Yes.
Swanson?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. We are adjourned.